All right, let's jump right in. What we're talking about today isn't just another cricket match. Nope. We're diving into a piece of pure IPL history. Royal Challengers Bangalore absolutely put on a show, a destructive spectacle, and we're going to break down exactly how they did it. Okay, first things first, just look at that number. 250 for the loss of just 3 wickets. I mean, seriously, let that sink in for a second. That is a monumental total in 20 overs. You know, the kind of score that has the other team completely rattled before they even pick up a bat. And just to give you some perspective here, this wasn't just some big score. We're talking about the highest total of the entire IPL 2026 season so far. So yeah, RCB didn't just set a target. They completely shattered a record and threw down the gauntlet. And that, right there, is really the heart of the story, isn't it? What we all saw was so much more than just a bunch of runs on the scoreboard. It was a statement, a loud, clear message of pure dominance sent to every single team in the league. All right, so how did they get there? Well, it all starts with building a solid foundation. Let's look at how RCB set the stage for the fireworks. You know, the start wasn't actually all-out chaos. It was more like controlled aggression. They put up 51 runs in the power play, which is a really decent platform. And what's crucial is that even after losing a player like Virat Kohli, Phil Salt and Devdutt Padinko came in and just steadied the ship. They made sure there was no early collapse, which was absolutely key. And we've really got to talk about Devdutt Padinko's role in all this. He was brilliant. He played that anchor role perfectly, hitting a fantastic half-century from just 29 deliveries. And innings like that is just so vital, you know? It didn't just keep the scoreboard ticking, it set the stage perfectly for the absolute mayhem that was just around the corner. Okay, so the foundation was there. It was solid. And then the storm hit. This is the moment a good score turned into an absolutely legendary one. So after that solid, steady start, you've got to ask, who are the ones who just flipped the switch? Who are the real game changers that turned this innings into an all-out assault? Well, first up, enter Tim David. Seriously, the second he stepped onto that pitch, the entire feel of the game just changed. 70 runs from just 25 balls. That's not just hitting, that is pure, raw, unadulterated destruction. What a breathtaking performance. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, as if one hurricane wasn't enough, you had Rajat Patidar at the other end, and he was matching Tim David's intensity blow for blow. 48 runs off only 19 balls. I mean, can you imagine being a bowler? You'd have absolutely no idea where to put the ball. And look at this, their combined impact was just off the charts. You see David with 8 sixes and Patidar with 6. It was this brutal, two-pronged attack, a relentless onslaught from both ends that didn't just score runs, it completely broke the will of the bowlers. And get this, together they smashed a 99-run partnership in just 35 balls. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. That's a run rate of over 17. 17 runs and over. This right here is the moment the match was completely ripped away from CSK. So let's talk about the grand finale, the final 5 overs. Because if you thought that partnership was intense, oh, just you wait. This wasn't just an acceleration. This was pure, unadulterated carnage. This chart right here tells the whole story, doesn't it? I mean, look at the difference. You've got the scoring rate for the first 15 overs, which is pretty solid, and then look at the bar for the final 5. It's like a skyscraper. The jump is just staggering, and it perfectly illustrates how unbelievably brutal that final onslaught really was. 97. That's it. That's the number. 97 runs in just the last 5 overs. Think about that. That's basically 100 runs in 30 balls. In the world of T20 cricket, that figure is just, it's almost unbelievable. So what does that kind of carnage actually look like on the field? Well, it means boundaries in every single over. 6s in every single over. The CSK bowlers were under an insane amount of pressure. It didn't matter who they brought on, nobody could stop the attack. The hitting was just relentless and completely unstoppable. Okay, let's bring it all together. Because, like we said right at the beginning, this performance was about way more than just the final score. So this is exactly what we're talking about when we say a statement innings. It's one of those performances that just puts the entire league on notice. It's RCB basically flexing their muscles, showcasing their absolute peak. and telling every other team, hey, on our day, you can't stop us. So what's the big takeaway here? It's simple, really. RCB proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that when their batting clicks, it doesn't matter who's bowling. They have the kind of firepower that can absolutely destroy any attack in this entire league. And all of that leaves us with just one massive hanging question, doesn't it? The pressure is now completely on CSK. After watching that historic onslaught, is it even possible for them to chase down this mountain of a target? Well, that's a story for another time.